Zahrina Robertson is Australia's most sought after radiant force. I can vouch for that. She's a multi-award winning businesswoman who works with speakers, leaders, and entrepreneurs on ideas, visual assets, styling, and develops very unique brand strategies with her marketing background. Her visual storytelling outcomes are a mix of intuitive and an extremely creative process that produces world-class visual assets in no time at all for quality results every time. She's recently been awarded a Stevie Gold, Silver and Bronze Award. She is an amazing entrepreneur. I did say that she was, you know, very well known globally. She's an amazing woman, and you're going to learn a lot about magnetic branding from the lovely Zahrina Robertson.
That's all right. Look, thank you very much for that fantastic introduction. I am really happy to have you here, and really excited to share how I can ignite your online brand presence. So let's talk about that and being a lot more magnetic to your audience, you know, everybody. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to talk about elevating your confidence and building compelling visual story with your brand online. And it's really important that I guess through what we've been through in the last couple of years, there's been so much change and so much upheaval that so many people just went rushed online. And what happened is that at the same time, it collided with people's presence and what they were not doing and what they were doing. And so what was interesting in the whole shebang of this whole industry of being online during COVID is that a lot of people missed the beat about what their messages was, how are they turning up online, you know, like what's happening with their, you know, their visual assets, what was their messaging and things like that. So, you know, let's talk about that. I'll just move on to the next slide. Ooh, there we go. There we go. So who's this for? So I help and I love talking to speakers, leaders, and entrepreneurs about, you know, your visual assets and being known for who you are and what you do dynamically, and as well as definitely talking to a lot of people in this industry of being a speaker, leader, an entrepreneur, and an author. There's so many people that are introverts and extroverts. So I talk to these people as well. And I love helping people in those type of personalities, particularly those personalities, because a lot of people in business don't know how to harness that brand messaging, matching it with the visuals as well, and also what they need to hone in on as their brand on video. So if you want to be known as an influencer in your market, well, you're in the right spot, because I'm all about authenticity and making sure that your authenticity shows up and absolutely nails your promise to your marketplace. So my promise to you in the next couple of minutes, the next 20 minutes odd, is that I want to build your brand very confidently and help you, give you some stepping stones on how to do that, where to start, or, you know, you might be in the middle of your journey and actually maybe you need to know how to, you know, like really, you know, hone it in better and things like that. So the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how to position your purpose with your, you know, your personality vibe, you know, personalize your message and your visibility and promote you online in the roadmap. And, you know, with these shifts, I'm going to absolutely try and help you go through being a brand for your visual brand on video and on imagery as well, that connects to your wider audience and to the heart and the soul and your authenticity. But the real problem is that I see is that a lot of people in business, in speakers, leaders, entrepreneurs, and authors, we're just not able to grasp that messaging of who you really are. And so you go through a process of like, I know who I am, but the person that I'm dealing with doesn't know who I am, and there's a disjoint and there's a disconnect. And what happens is that it gets seen, and you know, you have the time that you spend on, you know, doing videos with somebody, or you're creating a brand with somebody or not. It just does there's a mismatch. And because you have your unique story, you know what that is, but the person working with you doesn't know what that real story is and doesn't know how to curate it properly. So that's the problem. Or you might be actually copying someone else's brand, and that's what the problem is as well. And who am I? Who am I to say all these things, right? Is that I've been working with speakers for a long time, and entrepreneurs and leaders and authors for a long time. But the biggest thing I know to be true is that I craft compelling stories, and I love it with a passion, and I get rid of the beige and I make sure I see the star within, and I really create that star process and through the branding of your story as well. So making sure it's on point. I've got a marketing background. I used to work for Louis Vuitton, Moët Hennessy. I'm a trainer. I'm an author, speaker, and I love what I do. So, and I'm multi-award winning, and I just won an award recently, just a week ago. Oh no, sorry, a month ago, for being the most outstanding small business award. Oh, here we go. Here's the gong. There we go. And most outstanding business in specialized business in Sydney here. So thank you very much for that, for the people who voted for me. But I've honed in on what I know to be true over the last 15 to 20 years, helping people elevate their brand. And it's been very dynamic process, because I work a lot on intuition. I work a lot on what I know to be true from my background of branding and marketing. And I've absolutely raised the profiles of everybody I work with, and I love it. And I see how people come from, like the hero's journey with me. And it's quite a compelling story and journey that I take people through. So I'm a mum. I'm also a mum to a beautiful toy poodle, Moodle, called Charlie, and wife and sister, and I love food and red wine. So, and I like chili as well, and cooking. So I do a bit of art as well. So I just want to let you know a bit about my background and who am I. And I've definitely got a lot. I just want to say, I'll show you my book as well. This is the magnetic branding book I've written as well. And I go through brand archetypes, styling, and helping people really prepare for their photo shoot with me, so that they actually can really enjoy the process. Because I got to say, nothing is worse than having a photo shoot where you feel like your teeth are being pulled out, and it's definitely not my gig. Anyway, but I just want to share with you what was life before. What happened to me as well is that I'll take you on a journey, because about just around 10 years ago, when Facebook was launched, I decided I'd put up a book. I put up a photograph, and I go, yeah, you know what? I know what I'm doing. I work with business chicks for a number of years, and I love what I do. And I put up on a photo to represent me and what I do online, and it was all of a sudden, this is it. That green line photo, the Kermit photo had an appearance, and and I went, this is it. This is all me. It just speaks volumes about me. I'm nice, I'm kind, I'm colorful. And so I'm just going to put that up and represent me for what I do. And I was like, yeah. And then I got somebody saying to me, this is a long time ago, and he tapped into my shoulder and he said, Zahrina, nice photo, but just let me know what I reckon you could do better, he said. And I said, oh, I really like that photo. I like the color. I like what I'm wearing. I like my hair. And it was all these sort of peripheral things that I was saying what I liked. But what he was saying and what I cottoned on was that I'm not seeing in you who you are and what you do and what I know to be true about you, right? So then I had a big gold nugget, epiphany. And that epiphany brought me to the middle photo, the life now. And that life now is owning my space and living in and kind of having an image that really showed up who I am, and confidence and the credibility and the congruency of what I know to be true, me. And then it shows up in the branding images of me. So interesting that that sometimes we can go through life and we're choosing imagery about ourselves that is all maybe external things, but your inside, your essence needs to be showing up as well. So what does it mean now? I'm in obligation now, and I am living my life to its fullest. And what does that mean? I am really, really being able to develop a brand, a really reputable brand that brings on the confidence of people as well as myself. And I'm showing up for my ideal client. So I want you to show up for your ideal client. And that's the whole purpose of this presentation today, is for you to show up as for your ideal client, to tap into you faster, so that you are absolutely doing the cut through and getting to the heart and the soul of your ideal client faster. And it is so important to do that. So what my ideal client is one of them is international speakers, and that's Richard Branson. I photographed him too. It is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I was the only photographer in Australia to be asked to photograph Arnold Schwarzenegger, and so I took that opportunity. But the key to happiness, guys, is important, because what happens is that when you're leaving an obligation, you have a lot more time, you have more income, and you have a lot more contribution to absolutely share to your community and share back to more meaningful projects that you want to work with. And that's why I live my mantra, I live my life like this. And what happens is that the key to happiness is that you get all three. And that becomes in droves when you have a personal brand that really smashes you out of the water. So how do I do this? I help my clients by positioning them with their, by creating their compelling and crafting their compelling stories. Crafting their compelling stories in visually and in a messaging type of way as well, and their angles of them. And I take people through a branding and a marketing angle as well when they work with me. But positioning you, what is it, that positioning of you, and where do you stand in the marketplace? How are you standing out? Personalizing your message. What are you going to say on videos? What are you going to feel like you're saying in imagery? And then also promoting you online. What are you and where are you going to be promoting yourself online? That really is going to make you a standout, world-class, video standard, as well as video story, as well as your visuals, as well, your photography as well. So that's my 3 steps, and it's a lot more in detail, but it's a lot more in depth when I work one-on-one with clients, and I love it. Gosh, I love it. It is really reaps the benefits. It's amazing. So my gig today is helping you position your purpose. And what does it mean? It's about your vibes. Now, a lot of people that come and call me every day or work with me every day, I know what's to be true is that we need to move beyond our turtle branding. And what does it mean? It means something very funny, because I am a little bit funny and quirky. So what does it mean? You're not yet the expert, but you wish to be known, right? Instead, you're an elusive turtle leader. Why I say turtle branding is because I know humans are popping their head in and out of that shell. They want to be known, but they don't want to be known. But they want to be known, but they don't. It's because we need to know and stand in conviction as a person in business that we have value to share. And when that light bulb goes off as value to share, that's when you really start getting momentum. But until then, and this is what holds people back, is that nobody really knows who you are because your lights are out. And what does that mean? It's like you are in your turtle shell. And what does it mean? It means that you're not getting opportunities to grow your business, for you to absolutely shine on purpose, and for you to really stand beyond what you know to be true. And you love hiding in your shell. Well, we've got to get rid of that, right? So I want everybody to think about, how are you turning up on video? As a brand, are you the oldie, the weekender, the shadow, the bachelorette, the silhouette, the selfie on video, the pet lover, the frowner on video? Now, video is a big thing about my business, and I help people get through this as well with confidence and fast track their video message online. But, it starts where you are turning up. How are you turning up on video, right? That's important, but you've got to show up authentically. Are you showing up in your truth, or are you showing up not in your truth? How many times have you pressed that play button and it's gone, 50 times later, I'm just getting tired of the energy I wanted, showing up on your message on video? How many times does this take? You're saying, well, it takes a long time, right? But what happens is that once you start understanding what your message is and really getting it honed in with guidance, then you've come down you've cut down all what you think you need to say to coming down to what you need to say. And that's where you need help. And that really will help you get to the guts and glory of who you are and your true essence. It's really important. So you understand about your personal brand assets and also your messaging as well. So your personal brand assets are important. Your photography, your website, your assets are really important. I treat all what I do as an asset building exercise. That's how I think you need to actually look at what you're doing in your business and your career as well, allowing you to be seen and heard. Are you absolutely showing up authentically? Let me know. Or are you the world's best kept secret? But the brand non-negotiables are really important, because if you're hearing crickets when you're sharing your content, means that you're not on brand, you're not sharing your message correctly, and it's wrong. So guys, let me know. In this black and white photo, what do you think this lady does? Well, well, what do you think she does? You can write it in the chat. You can just share that online, because what I know to be true is that, and I've done this before, I've heard some people say that this lady's like a clairvoyant, you know, in the black and white photo, you know, she's a waitress and things like that. And in the right side, the colorful photo, I'm showing you this because we're going to go back to that turtle. And there's a lot of the brand building exercise I take people through. They start with this black and white photo. They're in their turtle shell. They pop out of that turtle shell and literally they come out the other end in the world-class assets, and they turn up beautiful online and congruent. And this lady is like, she's one of the world, one really good speaker coach. You know, she's a brilliant what she does. So this is what, you know, where do you see her truth? Where do you see your truth? Is your truth showing up? And that's important, because this is Rebecca. And so I took her through a journey about what does a brand look like, what's she going to wear, what's she not going to wear, what's a brand archetype. And it was just like all this process really helps her shine online in her truth. And that's where you've got to start thinking about, where's your truth? Okay, so let's look at this guy. Let's look at this guy. It's going to move this around. There we go. And which energy gives you the confidence to buy, guys? The left one or the right one? So the left one or the right one with the white background? Interesting. Just start thinking about this. Start thinking about yourself. What images are you putting out there? What videos are you putting out there that gives the confidence of people to buy into you? So the left photo, people said, oh my gosh, this man, he's like looks like a great barista at the beach. And I went, yeah, at Manly Beach, at Bondi Beach, which beach? Well, anyway, the guy in the white, with the white background, the after photo, well, I took this man through a big journey and loved the journey he did. And now he's like the world's best, one of the world's best coaches for coaches. And his name is Taki Moore. So Taki Moore, there we go. You know, I created his brand for all sorts of imagery, gave him an image library that really sung his praises. And he used it in social media, you know, all over the place for social media advertisements and on the website. And he asked me for my input and my guidance on which images, where to use on his like where to use his visual assets that I produced for him online on his website. So I guided him there, and I've done that for every single client since as well. So this is just an example. He's the coach of coaches, and he went like, you know, he's gone to a lot of money, incredible amount of money, absolutely honing in on his brand, his messaging, and utilizing his visual messaging, which is amazing. So personalizing your message in videos, how to build a consistency online, and doing that through your blog, doing it through your thought leadership lessons on video, and definitely it's going to capture all your leads, because you'll start getting momentum. And that's what's important, because you want to get a target of having, you know, creating 10,000 words of content on your blog a year. Start working on that for consistency. It's really important, because the more you're compelling, the more educational you will be. But promoting you online, this is the credibility, your roadmap. It's important to capture you and your credibility online. Facebook, LinkedIn, you know, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you know, emails. These are all my assets and growing every day. So Facebook, over 12,000 people, Instagram, over 3 and 6. I've got, you know, LinkedIn, over 9,000 people. There's Twitter, over 5.4 1,000 people, and YouTube 1,000. You know, be better and things like that. And emails, I've got a 10,000K email list. So it's important to build your assets up, right, guys? So that's your database, and where you're seen is definitely your roadmap to success, because it's your visibility heaven, right, guys? And it's important. So, I don't know why this is happening. So your brand is less present if people are not drawn to you and you're not seen as the go-to person. So we need to start somewhere, but start looking at your visual assets, what you're messaging in, and what you're going to be saying on video, because you need to be the top of mind. Because if you're not top of mind, you're definitely brandless in the marketplace, and your competition is top of mind. But you've got lifestyle dreams that are not being achieved, and we don't want that, right? But let's think about that. You don't want to be that secret anymore, right? But what would it write down, what would it look like if you had the perfect brand? Like, what would your life look like? So write down some wish list. Write down 3 things about what would be the perfect brand, you turning up, and what would it look like? Write a couple of those things down as well. And are you who are you on video? Start writing down who you want to be on video. How do you want to be seen on video? Start answering these sort of questions. And why should we listen to you? Write down, why should we listen to you? Because it's important to understand how you want to change the world, how you want to change the hearts and authenticity of people. So the common beliefs and fears about people not turning up on video and on imagery, doing this right, is because they have no brand story, but they want the truth to be seen and told. But your brand story is adequate, but your brand story will open new doors now. But you're thinking your age is holding you back. Point 2 is inadequate, actually. So you might think your age is, holding you back. You might think your body weight, all sorts of different barriers, right? But really, at the end of the day, done is better than perfect, and be prepared to fail to succeed. It's just Murphy's Law, right? But be known, because you've got to be, the upside of being known on video is really being seen, so you can tap into a lot of the opportunities that are missing, because people will see you talking on video. They'll go, oh gosh, I wonder what they're going to say. Oh geez, I wonder what they're like. Oh gee, they're part of this webinar or a podcast. I've heard the voice of this person, but I've never seen them in action. So there's all these sort of things that happen around having a brand that's built, that to build you up as being, that's the upside of being known, is that your presence is being known, and it's really crucial. So before I worked this all out, I personally was 100% crippled in my own perfectionism. I thought I had to be perfect to do it all, and I thought I actually had to make it all perfect, but it's not the case. I've stumbled a lot, and I wasn't perfect. Like you saw at the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, tech, whatever, like tech, it's just like cripples me, right? Sometimes. And but at the end of the day, it's what counts is caring and authenticity and delivering, and I do that in droves and more. So it's what's the heart of your brand. It's about caring and authenticity. So I thought I knew everything, but I didn't, and I was afraid of showing up online wrong. I was afraid of showing up online not perfect. But you know what? How much fun can it be these days during COVID to actually, past COVID, to actually stumble, make mistakes, laugh at yourself, because we're now in an age of authenticity where it's like, yeah, I've done that, don't worry about it, it's okay. So you know what, it's all part of the journey. It's all about people and connection. And I struggled with a lack of confidence, and I did for a long time, because I felt it was a boys' world out there, and in regards to what I knew to be true, and that and then what did I have to deliver, and what did I know, until I bottled it up and I started speaking about what I know to be true, as well as writing a book. And so it's all about profile and building your profile, and it's important to do that with your personal brand, and you start sharing your story. And that story is remarkable when you start sharing it, because I was definitely crippled by my lack of confidence. But once I followed my dreams and followed my process of helping, how I help people nowadays, it is really, really powerful. So you're going to have a lot more clients. You're going to be a lot more engaged with your audience when you start showing up online with the right visual assets, and your brand credibility stands out from your competitors, and you start really, really honing in on your message. But your brand will finally start matching your personality. And that's what's crucial, right? And that's what you want. You want to feel like you go online and people get you, understand you, and they go, yeah, I know you, Zahrina. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. You know, it's like a great conversation starter is having a great brand that's being seen and really, you know, really credible and full of content and confidence. So your content will start to be shared, and that's what you want, right? So showing up on video and doing it well, it's just like all part of your story. So high five you guys for making it, you know, because you're only one video away from success, you know, and you're one photo away from success as well. So as you can see from my Kermit photo to my iconic photo to being an obligation with opportunities that come my way all the time. So, you know what? I really appreciate you guys turning up. Thank you. And I'm Zahrina Robertson from Zahrina Photography and Video. And if you've got any questions, just tap my shoulder. Thank you.
Wonderful presentation, Zahrina. Thank you. I didn't realize there was so much into in brand, you know, branding yourself and branding your business. It's absolutely amazing. I loved it. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Hey, wonderful. If so, you've got your I put your link to your website in the chat so people can reach out to you. And yeah, I look forward to seeing more of your photography and your journey with awards, because you're an amazing human, and you deserve all the kudos that you receive.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Awards are not everything, but they are part of the journey, part of the profile of building a brand. I've won many awards, but at the end of the day, what makes me smile is changing someone's life when they work with me. And I love it, because I'm not changing their lives, just their lives. I'm changing their community's lives, like a wider audience. So my dream is for my clients to attract a wider audience and change their world.
Yeah, and that's that makes you a heart-centered entrepreneur, my darling.
Thank you.
All right. It's been lovely to chat with you, and I will talk to you again soon.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.